Hi guys, Roger Shahata here, and I'm really excited about what we're doing today. We're going through a goal setting workshop together. This is actually one of the key fundamentals to building a solid foundation to your business by working from home, or any type of business for that matter. Without having your goals in place, it makes it a lot more harder to achieve what you want to achieve with your business opportunity. So we're going to learn how to set goals. You've probably already downloaded our worksheet through our course here. And I really encourage you to have that printed up, because that way you can fill it up with what we're going to go through today. So let's get stuck straight into it. Before I get stuck straight into it, let me talk about how I actually learned about goal setting and why it is one of my favorite topics. Back in the year 2003 in Singapore, my wife and I were fortunate enough to meet one of our personal mentors, Mr. Jim Rohn. And we got to spend a whole weekend with Mr. Jim Rohn learning about goal setting. And, if you don't know who Mr. Jim Rohn is, he's a person that's literally helped tens of thousands of people right around the world become famous, as well as people become successful in their business. He's worked with famous people like Anthony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, just to name a few. And, he really taught us about the philosophy of setting goals and how to work towards making them become a reality. So I'm going to take you through exactly the same course that we went through on the whole weekend with him, but it's not going to take us a whole weekend. It's going to be less than a 45-minute call. And that way you can set yourself up and know what you're working towards with your business opportunity. But before I do that, let's get some wisdom and inspiration from the man himself. You can get his books from any bookstore right around the world. You can watch his videos on YouTube and listen to his audios and so forth. So let's hear from Mr. Jim Rohn himself.
Life and business is like the changing seasons. Winter follows fall. Spring follows winter. Summer, harvest. The seasons are set. You cannot change those. But here's what you can do. You can change yourself. Learn how to handle the winters. The winters always come. All of us can become wiser than we were yesterday, wiser than we were last week, wiser than we were a month ago. You're going to leave here wiser because you've been here for these few days, listening to the testimonials, listening to the training. You'll be wiser because you've met each other. You will remember this occasion, and you'll remember what you heard, and you'll remember what you saw, and you'll remember how you felt, and it will sustain you. Look how many people have been attracted at this level to the Herbalife opportunity. Learn to take advantage of the spring. Spring is called opportunity. Winter doesn't last forever. Spring always comes. There's just a handful of spring that's been given to each of us. Take advantage of every one. At the longest, life is brief. So take advantage of every meeting. Take advantage of every opportunity to talk to someone. Take advantage of every chance to express yourself and give someone a chance to join the Herbalife opportunity. Learn to value life in all of its precious moments. Take notes. Lean forward. Get everything you can while the opportunity is here, because the window opens and then it closes. So every time the sun comes up, take advantage of that day, because life is brief at the longest. The third season is the season of summer. Two things are important in the season of summer. Number one, and that is to give life to your value. Give life. If you planted a garden now, you've got to give it nourishment. Give life to your value. Once you've got an Herbalife customer, now you've got to give them life by giving them your attention. Giving someone not just your time, but your attention. Like a mother that gives life to a baby. Now she nourishes it. Now she feeds it. Now she takes care of it. If you've been so fortunate as to have now an Herbalife organization, I'm asking you to breathe life into it like a mother. Nourish it and feed it like a mother. Put everything you got into everything you do. Believe in each other. Believe in each other. Believe in Herbalife and its opportunity for the future. Believe. And here's the last season, the season of harvest. Harvest does not come to those who did not plant all those months ago called the spring. Harvest does not come to those that hope. Harvest does not come to those that wish. Harvest does not come to those who have their fingers crossed. Harvest only comes to those that have planted, that did the job, that told the story, that gave the invitations, that conducted the meeting. If you'll take the risk and talk, if you'll take the risk and go, if you'll take the risk and serve, if you'll take the risk and give an opportunity to someone, if you'll take a risk and get on an airplane, if you'll take a risk and go see the people, if you'll take a risk and conduct a meeting, I promise you, as time unfolds, your harvest will come. The lesson of the season, the lesson of the season. One is to hang in there when the nights are long. Hang in there when the winters are tough. Number two, take advantage of the spring. Take advantage of a chance to hand somebody the Herbalife opportunity and see what kind of miracle might come from that. Take advantage. And number three, in the summer, look over your organization like a shepherd would look over the flock, the sheep. Take care of it as a leader should. Here's the key phrase in Herbalife. Let your distributors borrow your eyes to see into the future. Things they cannot at first see. Borrow your eyes. Let them borrow your vision. I remember when Mark said, we're going to do 400 million. I said, Mark, are you going to say it publicly? He said, yes. I said, Mark, are you going to ask me to say it? Yes, he said, I'm going to ask you to say it publicly. We're going to get to 400 million. I said, Mark, I'm not sure I can see it. He said, borrow my eyes.
This company isn't going to double in size, it's going to triple in size. It's going to get even bigger and better, and the dreams are going to get bigger than you ever imagined.
Learn the lesson of the season. You cannot change the season. They are set. But here's what you can do. You can change yourself.
It's such a great video because it talks about the seasons of life. And there is a book that you can get from jimrohn.com called The Seasons of Life, which is a great video and audio to get. No question about that. So guys, let's get stuck into it. Have your notebooks out or your worksheets out, and let's go through. I'm going to play some background yoga music, if you like, just to really set the mood and inspire you to focus. Turn your phone off, get focused on what we're about to do, because this could change your life forever. So the first thing I want you guys to do is write 5 things that you have already accomplished in your life that you are proud of. It could be you finished your university. It could be you got a degree. It could be something that you've achieved with your children or your family. It could be some goals that you already had on your list of traveling or buying a certain car or buying a certain house. 5 things that you have accomplished that you're really proud of. Think about everything that's happened to you throughout the course of your life So once you've done that, the only reason we get you to think about what you've accomplished and write that down is you can't move forward if you don't know what you've already achieved. So reflect back on what you've achieved and let's keep moving forward of what you now want in your life. So I'm going to break it down into different segments. The first one is, what do you want to achieve in the next 1 year? Your goals don't have to be massive in this area. These are all short-term goals, or what I call short-term goals. It could be upgrading your phone. It could be getting rid of a certain debt. It could be that you want to travel somewhere that you haven't been to. What do you want to achieve in the next 1 year? Now you'll notice you've got 5 lines there to write this down. You can write some more, but minimum 5 goals that you want to achieve in the next 1 year. After you've written that down, then we want you to set some 3-year goals. So something that you might not be able to achieve in 1 year, but it's going to take you a little bit longer and you might set it to achieve it in 3 years' time. Again, I've given you 5 lines here, so that's a minimum of 5 goals. And if you've got more, also write them down. Be very specific with your goals. For example, if you want to buy a new car, what kind of car is it? What color is it? Is it a sport? Is it a convertible? Is it a sedan? Is it a van? Be very specific with your goals. The reason this is very important is because if you're not specific about your goals, you'll never achieve your goals. So have a clear picture in your mind of exactly what you want. See, I'm a believer in the universe. Now, I don't know what you believe in. It could be God, it could be Buddha, it could be Muhammad, it could be any religious artifact. But if you really believe in your faith or the universe, you need to give some clarity of exactly what you want to achieve in your life. Because if you're not clear about what you want, the universe will deliver something very unclear to you. So once you've done that, you'll also do the same thing for what you want to achieve in the next 5 years with your business. Maybe you want to upgrade the house. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want to sack that boss. Maybe you want to go on a cruise. Maybe you want to work your own business full time. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. The next thing I want you to do is see what you want to achieve in 10 years plus. One of the things I can tell you about setting goals is you don't want to limit yourself. Anything is possible if you are willing to do the work. You want a private jet? Hey, put it down as one of your goals. You want a yacht? You want a Ferrari, a Lamborghini? Whatever your heart desires, a helicopter? Anything you want is possible to achieve if you work towards it and you have clarity in your mind of how you are going to achieve it. So once you've done that, what's really important is when you reach your goals, you keep going by setting new goals. You know, I always encourage people to have at least 20 goals. When we spent the weekend with Mr. Jim Rohn himself, he got us to write a list of 50 goals of what we want to achieve. There is a power about writing goals down on paper. I'll share with you a quick story. The company I'm involved with, once we did this goal setting workshop, one of the goals that I had written down was to go on a Caribbean cruise. The reason I wanted to go on a Caribbean cruise is my wife and I actually wanted to go on a Caribbean cruise for our honeymoon. And at that time, I had a traditional business which had a lot of overhead, staff, and what have you, typical headaches of a traditional business, unlike a work from home business. And we had lost absolutely everything. We were actually in $1 million debt. And when we sat at this goal setting workshop with Mr. Jim Rohn, we were writing our goals. And one of the goals I wrote down was to go on a Caribbean cruise. Little did I know at the same time, one of my wife's goals that she wrote down on the same weekend was to also go on a Caribbean cruise. After we finished that goal-setting workshop, we had an event with our company the following weekend, and the company we're involved with announces paid vacations on a yearly basis for people who produce a certain amount of business. And you'll never guess what vacation they promoted on that weekend. You guessed it, a Caribbean cruise. Obviously, my wife and I qualified for that, and that was just like reliving our honeymoon that we wanted to do originally that we couldn't afford to do. So I'm a very strong believer that when you write things down and put your heart to it and put your mind to it and go to work on it, anything is possible. What's important is you remember to celebrate your achievements along the journey, okay? A lot of the stuff you've written down is not going to happen overnight, but it will happen if you really have a burning desire to want it bad enough to make it happen. Next thing I want you guys to do is review your 1-year goals and ask yourself, out of the 1-year goals that you've written down, which are the 4 most important? Why is this important? Well, with your 1-year goals, if these goals are strong enough for you, you'll understand this is where you need to allocate your time, and it really helps keep you focused to separate the major things from the minor things. Instead of wasting time on minor things, getting the major things done in your business. So really ask yourself the question, what's got you turned on? Because this is exactly what's going to drive you to succeed and motivate you to get up early in your business, staying up late and doing the necessary things in your business. This is a business, guys. And when you're self-employed, sometimes you got to make a little bit more sacrifices in the beginning to achieve the long-term goal. So look at your goals and ask yourself, why are they so important to you? I always say to people, if it doesn't give you a burning desire, the hunger to want that goal, I believe it's more a wish than a goal. That burning desire, you should feel it in the pit of your stomach, that if you're not working towards it and not achieving these things, you feel sick. That's the kind of hunger that you want to have with the goals that you've written down. Why is this important? The reason is, when the reason is strong enough, the how-to gets very easy. Because purpose is actually stronger than the object. Why you are doing it is more important than actually achieving that goal. And personal development is the major value in life, because it's the person that you need to become to achieve that goal by working on yourself daily, reading books, listening to videos, watching motivational YouTube videos or books or etc. That is what's going to help you stay focused on achieving what you need to achieve with your business opportunity. Now I want you to look at the 10-year list goal and ask yourself, what kind of person must I become to achieve everything that I want? Start with a concept. Maybe you need to become stronger. Maybe you need to have better health. Maybe you need some coaching and mentoring. Exactly like what we're doing with you on this program. Mentors and coaches are there for a reason, because they've been where you're going. So what must you become to attract the growth in your business that you want? What kind of person must you become? You know, I'm a personal believer of constantly working harder on myself than I do on my job. Listening to audios, constantly searching things on the internet to learn more skills, you know, doing more courses, always tweaking my thinking, my attitude, my focus, my desires, so that I can have everything that I want from my business. I encourage you to do the same. Now, I want you to look at your goals, and if something is not that important, you've got to take it off your list. It's not important. Like I said, the goal needs to be driving you to succeed in life. Be positive. Behold the possibility, the future. Give it design. And behold, the next person you might meet might be important to the growth of your business. So make sure you network with people. Because when you communicate with people, sometimes you can pick up on their skills to help advance your business. If you're not good at the internet, well, you might get somebody or come across somebody who's very good at the internet by talking and communicating with other people, and you might be able to use their services. What's really important is to stay away from the negative people. And they're out there. Beware of what you become in pursuit of what you want to achieve. So as your business grows and you're making the money you want to make and achieving what you want to achieve from your business opportunity, be careful of the person that you become. Do not have an ego. Stay humble. And stay away from the negative people. Because the greatest source of unhappiness is actually being unhappy with yourself. So let's help you set some financial goals for yourself. And I want you to set a target for yourself, maybe something that you feel not too easy to achieve, just a little bit out of your comfort zone, so that you can stretch yourself to achieving it. So I want you to set yourself a 30-day financial goal. What you want to achieve from your business in the next 30 days. Now, you're probably just getting involved in a business opportunity if you're coming across this, or maybe you're already involved in one. But what's really important is to set the goal just a little bit out of your comfort zone. So if you think in the next 30 days you're going to make, $2,000, or maybe up to $3,000, working at part-time. What a great first month goal. Set a 90-day goal of what you want to achieve in the next 90 days. Set a 6-month goal, what you want to achieve in the next 6 months. 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Anything is possible if you're willing to dream big. So the next question you need to ask yourself is, what needs to happen in your business to achieve your income goals? How many customers do you need to make that kind of income? What does the structure of your business need to look like to achieve that income? How much advertising or promoting do you need to do to achieve this goal? Everything's about statistics. If you're talking to X amount of people to get X amount of customers, well, if you want to double that, you just double the X's, so to speak. You double the activity. It's simple mathematics. So let's wrap it up with one more video from Mr. Jim Rohn himself talking about attitude.
Let's talk now about setting goals. Of all the things that really helped transform my life, when I was 25 years old and met my mentor, that original mentor, Mr. Earl Schoaf, goal setting really did wonders for me. The subject came up when Mr. Shove said to me, Mr. Rohn, let me see your current list of goals. And he said, let's go over them. He said, I've got some experience, and let's talk about them. Maybe I can give you some help. And I said to him, I don't have a list. He said, wow. If you don't have a list of your goals, he said, I can probably guess your bank account within a few $100s, which he did. And that got my attention. So here was my response. You mean to tell me if I had a list of my goals, it would make a difference in my bank account? He said, a drastic difference. So that got my attention. I thought, well, I've got to learn how to set goals. And when I learned it, it changed my life forever. Now I've been teaching it now all these years, trying to help people get a better vision of the future. Okay, so make this note. The future's where we're going. You know, the past is where we've been, present is where we are, and the future is where we're going. And if we can capture this moment in time from our past to now, and then from now to a future more well-designed, with better objectives and better purpose for ourselves, our family, our business, our investments, everything else, then this moment in time will have become extremely valuable. So let me give you first what really affects us all. Number one, we're affected by the environment in which we live. We're affected by the physical environment. I was challenged way back in those early days, why not make the environment better everywhere you go? I learned, Mama taught, you know, turn off the lights when you check out of your hotel and you leave the room. Before you leave, turn out the lights. And I thought, why do that? And here's what she said, to make a contribution that's so easy. Wow. And if you could make a contribution that is so easy, that didn't cost you any money and didn't cost you any time, you know, didn't cost you a piece of your life, why not make the contribution that's easy? Because if everybody did it, think of how much we would conserve. Someone says, well, yes, but the hotel benefits if you turn out all the lights. And here's the answer that sophisticated people always have. Who cares who benefits? If it benefits the hotel and if everybody did it, probably the cost of the hotel room would come down. So every benefit you can give, every benefit you can share, because here's what happens. If you learn to give, you will what? Receive. Maybe not in the manner in which you gave, maybe not in like kind. Someone will save energy for you because you saved energy for them. But in some mysterious ways, it always comes back to us. If you give, you will receive. In fact, here's what it says, that for the uneducated is a little bit strange. It says it's better to give than it is to receive. Now, see, if you didn't understand, you would say, that doesn't quite make sense. Surely it would be better to receive than to give. And the answer is no. It is much better to give than to receive. And here's why. It's what we call having intelligent self-interest. Nothing wrong with self-interest as long as you do it the intelligent way. Here's the key. Giving, it's better to give than it is to receive because giving starts the receiving process. So to act intelligently in your own self-interest, which is good, it's much better to give than it is to receive. Because if all you do is receive, that may be very limited. But if you give, and giving starts the receiving process coming your way from unknown resources and from unknown places, back it comes around to you because you became a giver. That's one of the unique mysteries of life. We give to receive, and it's better to give than it is to receive.
So that's what Mama said. Turn out the lights, make a contribution. Why not make the easy ones? Here's what else. We talked about it at our lunch break today to those who were there. It raises your self-esteem, plus your self-respect, that you do things that the average person doesn't do. Maybe if they were taught, they would. Maybe if somebody mentioned it, they would. But it's easy for most everybody to just go on their way, and if they're not interrupted by a good idea that says, hey, it's so easy to make a contribution, this one would be easy. Turn out the lights when you leave the hotel room and make a contribution. That's interesting. Next is the phrase, in terms of environment, always leave something better than you found it. I talked to a man one time who rented out a long list of apartments. And he said, Mr. Rohn, you wouldn't believe it, but when somebody rents an apartment, they usually leave it worse than when they rented it. I said, you've got to be kidding. He said, no. A high percentage of people leave it trashed. If they stay 6 months or stay 1 year, they leave it trashed. Not just not better, but trashed. I said, that's impossible. Why would anyone do that? Mama said to me, no, leave it what? Better than you found it. See, that's just a commitment to your own self-esteem. And why not do it if it makes a contribution to your self-esteem? It's called intelligent self-interest. Intelligent self-interest. Self-interest says, I wish to be ruler over many. And intelligent self-interest says, I understand how to do that. Be faithful when the amounts are small. If you'll take care of the few, we will someday give you a position of very high importance over many. But if you don't be disciplined when the amounts are small, why would we trust you when the amounts are large? Brian mentioned that earlier. Why would life give you a fortune to manage if you couldn't manage the gifts of a few? Interesting philosophy to consider, okay? Your own self-interest. Leave the contribution. I'm even aware of it when I leave a restaurant and I get me a toothpick, right? And you take off the little cellophane off the toothpick. It's easy to throw it by the cash register, right, or somewhere where it looks like other people have done the same. Mama said, put it in your pocket. Somebody says, wow, a little piece of cellophane, what difference does it make? It doesn't make that much difference, only in your self-respect. Take your trash home and deposit it. How much does it cost to clean up the trash on the highways in America? Mega millions. Wouldn't people take home their own trash and deposit it there rather than scatter it on the highways across America? And the answer is most people do not. It's so easy to throw it out the window. But now add this, it's so easy to keep it in your car and have a few more points in your favor on self-esteem, feeling good about yourself, doing things that most people don't do. If everybody did it, what a different country we would have. But it doesn't really matter. You say, well, if everybody's going to do it, why shouldn't I do it? And the answer is for your own dignity and for your own self-esteem. You do things that most other people allow themselves to do that you don't do. And so when I talk about the environment, now we're affected by the political environment and the social environment, and we're affected by the economy environment.
So as you can see, this guy's an absolute legend, Mr. Jim Rohn himself. You know, his philosophies, the way he expresses things, the way he puts it all together for us. Really hope you guys enjoyed this goal setting workshop. I enjoyed doing this with you. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun with it. go back, review it all. If you need to go back and watch the video again and again and keep doing these goal setting workshops to tweak things and fine tune things to make things start becoming a reality for you, as it has for me with the business opportunity I'm involved in. So thanks again for your time. Have a great one, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the other side. Bye for now.